Micah Frankel for CageMinds.com. We're here at the Chavez Dojo. Angelica Chavez, thank you for the time.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
XFC 25. We're just under 3 weeks away. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I've had a really good fight camp. I'm anxious, ready for the fight to go.
It's been a year since the last time we saw you in action. What's the eagerness to get back in competition?
I'm very eager. It's just been a long time since I've been in the cage, and so I'm excited. We had layoff, really not necessarily for any reason specific. We didn't have the right fight offers or whatnot, and so we just kind of took our time and waited for the right opportunity, and XFC has presented it to me, so we're excited for it.
I know sometimes out here in the women's divisions, it's hard to get the right matchup. It's hard to get, fights to follow through or promoters to even follow through. Were there any kind of situations like that over this last year where something was about to happen and it kind of fell through?
Not too much. It was really just lack of activity. I fight for fun. It's not, I don't depend on it to eat. I have other jobs that pay my bills, and so it's really an extra sport for me, an extra hobby in a sense, and so if the right offer doesn't come, I don't have to take it.
Well, that sounds excellent. Not everyone gets to have that kind of, backing and support system around them and those other options.
Yes, sir.
So with that, what made XFC the right promotion to sign with?
Well, one of my teammates, Joby Sanchez, he went and fought for the contract and he won it, and so my dad has been working with him. He had one fight with him, went really well, and my dad was just really happy with the organization and with Mr. Prisco himself, and so when they offered me a contract, we just thought it was a great opportunity to jump on it. A good opportunity also to have steady work, steady. It's a 5-fight contract, and so it's not just, we're going to fight you for one fight, that's it. And so that was another definitely incentive to sign the contract.
And then could you talk about, the disappointment of not getting this fight at XFC 23, but then, that light at the end of the tunnel. Here it is at home.
Yep. It was a bummer. I hate to, of course, pull out of a fight, but I feel like it's not fair to my opponent, and it's not fair to me to fight with any kind of injury. And so I know if I'm fighting someone, I want them to be 100%. And so I definitely have that respect with Stephanie, and she has not given me any problems about it. So it was a bummer for that fight to fall through, but I'm glad that we're back on track.
So then you bring it up, Stephanie. She's your opponent, Stephanie Skinner. Got any thoughts on her as a fighter?
She's tough, she's a gamer. She comes from a really tough fight camp, and so she has really good training partners and coaches, and so I'm definitely expecting a war.
Everyone's well-rounded, but is there one aspect of her game that you're like kind of, okay, I'm gonna take note upon this? I'm looking in this area, I'm aware of that's where she's really good at.
I know that she has a few wins by TKO, and so I'm sure she has good striking, good positioning and whatnot, and so definitely ready for that. I'm expecting that, a good striker, but I don't underestimate her submission game or wrestling or anything really, because she comes from a well-rounded camp, and so when you look at a fighter, you look at their camp and what their camp is good at, because the fighter can always learn new things during their fight camp, so I'm ready for anything.
Talking about that, it's been a year. What's that been like, training, improving? What do you feel the new version of you is going to look like having all this time to grow?
I feel like I've matured as a fighter. I've done in this year a lot more teaching, a lot more working with the kids. We just took the kids to the Kids World in California, and 8 of 9 of our kids took medals, and so I was really proud of that. And so I feel like through the more in-depth teaching that I've done, I've really matured as a fighter myself, and I've learned to sit down and think while I'm training. Sometimes in my fights I feel like it's just like a little bit hectic, and so I've definitely learned to sit a little bit more and relax and take my time and just fight my fight.
Then also with that year, with your Kajikimbo style, that's a mixed martial art of its own, how have you been able to imprint your own style that you're going to bring into the cage? How has that started to grow?
I definitely feel like I have come a little bit more back to my roots of Kajikimbo. In my training for this fight, I've done some karate sparring and point sparring and stuff like that, and it makes you a lot more technical. The karate aspect, the Kajikimbo aspect of my game is more focused on technique, And so I definitely have implemented that more in this training camp.
So what do you think when you see yourself on a billboard?
I haven't seen it yet, but I have a lot of friends that keep sending me pictures of the billboard and whatnot. When I'm in fight camp, my dad, the way that he explains it is that we're in jail. You know, we go to the gym, to home, to sleep, to the track to run, and that's pretty much it. You know, I'm blessed in my work situation that my boss, she lets me take time off before my fight, and so I'm not working right now at all. So that's my extent of my driving. So I haven't seen them, but it's an amazing feeling nonetheless. I know it's out there, and I know that my community sees it and that they have my support, my back 100%.
And then how do you weigh the pressure versus, you know, the support that you're getting fighting here at home, you know, not too far down the road from the gym?
I don't feel pressure. I definitely am excited because of the fact I train with kids. Our karate school is based on children, and so being that the kids can go watch me fight, that's worth the world to me. And so I definitely am excited, and I don't feel nervous. I just feel like it's a good feeling, a good warm feeling inside to know that the kids are going to be there.
At Invicta your last fight, you went up there, you were by yourself. This card, Joby and Francisco also having fights on there. What does that mean, and how does that feel, you know, having the team with you?
It's been a nice training camp, you know. It's definitely nice to have teammates on the card with you, because you're not in keep alone, you know. So you know that each one of us, we all know exactly what the other one's going through. Someone's having a bad night, the other one knows, like, oh, I'm having a good night, so I'm gonna like try and just share the energy, you know. It's all good energy and good vibes, and so it's definitely been a nice training camp with the other two guys in the card.
On that, you said it's kind of like jail. So what food do you miss most when you're in that camp time?
I haven't really started cutting weight, so I can't really say that I'm like missing anything. Maybe, I don't know. I'm really not missing anything yet. So, but I'm sure now, as we come up to 2 weeks in the fight, I'll miss some food.
Okay. Well, then also want to ask you about how you've tweaked your training over this last year, because everyone, you know, they grow, they evolve. Is there anything that you've been focusing more on this camp than before? Or?
Not technique-wise, more in my mind. You know, just working on knowing my fight and fighting my fight rather than expecting what my opponent has to bring. You know, I'm not really worried about anything. Not that I guess I shouldn't say that I'm not worried, but I'm not focused on my opponent. I'm focused more on myself and my fight camp.
How much visualization do you do of, you know, thinking about scenarios and stuff like that?
I definitely do a lot of visualization. I feel like the more comfortable I am in the situation, the calmer I can be and the better I can perform. And so I definitely visualize the fight all the time, you know, all the way from feeling, like in my mind, feeling the mat on my feet to seeing the lights and whatnot. I definitely visualize a lot, because I feel like if you can learn to be comfortable in an uncomfortable situation, you're ahead of the game.
It's been 2 years. How comfortable is it going to be again fighting here at home?
I'm excited, you know. It really, to me, once that cage door shuts, it's the same whether I'm here or on the moon. It doesn't really matter. So in that sense, I'm not worried about it. Where I'm fighting, I am excited that I have all my team behind me, and they're all going to be there. But I'm excited.
Well, I understand, you know, when the cage door locks, it's all the same. You got the same cage. But that fight week, that preparation week, does it make it easier being here at all?
Definitely. You know, you don't have the travel, you don't have the jet lag. It's everything. I'm sleeping in my bed. You know, I definitely have to say, yes, of course, if fighting in my hometown, definitely an advantage. But yeah, I'm excited to fight here.
We're excited to see it. Excited to see on Access TV. So congratulations with the kids on taking the medals, and also congratulations on being in the first atomweight fight on Access TV. Could you talk a little bit about that and being on Access TV?
It's an honor, honestly. I really appreciate what the XFC has done for me. Mr. Prisco, you know, he's gone above and beyond to work on women's MMA, and I'm honored to be a part of it. And so being that I'm the first atom weight, Stephanie and myself, this first atom weights, I think that it's a big step, it's a big step, especially for the atom weights, because it's hard for us to get on bigger cards. And so, and on Access TV, it's amazing, it's the scope of people that are going to be able to watch this fight. It's amazing. I'm just so excited to be able to get that kind of exposure, and it's awesome.
Again, we can't wait for it. Want to give you a minute to thank the sponsors, the training partners, and tell the fans how they can follow you on the social media.
My Twitter is @ChavezMMA, and that's probably the best way to get a hold of me. Thank you to my dojo, 100% support from my dojo all the time. And Trim Nutrition is my main sponsor, and that's it. Come see a good fight.
South Valley's own Angelica Chavez, XFC 25 Boiling Points, September 6th at the Albuquerque Convention Center. We'll see you all there.